Hi, hello. Good evening. My name is Ding, and I recently took part in the concluded design challenge hosted by Layer Connect on Twitter. Usually, when I make designs like this for projects like this, and be it a challenge or a design test, I usually just post a few screens and then I just leave it on Figma. I then I probably then open it when a client mentions it, and then I need something to present to the client as reference, just to as social proof that I've done something like this, or or sometimes but usually I forget about it. But this year I plan to change that, and I've been posting my work a lot. The ones I can post, and then the few ones I can post, those are the ones under NDA. But I won't talk about my designs, mostly online, and most importantly my thought process. For example, this is project Jiffy. Jiffy is the idea I had for the design challenge. The design challenge was to create an Handyman Marketplace where you could users could come and book, customers rather could come and book an Handyman, and the flow was to the requirement was to create flows for customers and demand from the onboarding, just 15 screens. So let me go straight into it. The idea of Jiffy, let me show you the idea I had for it. The idea of Jiffy, the name came from so this is a mood board where I was working on colors and different fonts and styles for how the logo would be. So the I later settled. I did I chose blue, orange, and purple. But I later settled on purple. So the few fonts I worked on were with rather was Dan Greg, Big Alpha 1, and the one I settled for, which was Modak. So the idea for the name Jiffy was here in Nigeria, of, I don't know if it's used abroad also, but Jiffy is the name for it's a slang for getting things done faster, or get it done in a Jiffy. So that was the idea for Jiffy. Get your request done in a Jiffy. Jiffy, your tax done in a Jiffy. Jiffy, your bookings done in a Jiffy. So the idea was just I wanted a simple word that people were familiar with and they could resonate with. So get it done in a jiffy, tax done in a jiffy, simple tax handled in a jiffy, we complete it in a jiffy, just and then we arrive in a jiffy. So that was the idea for the name Jiffy. So to go straight into the customer section, the requirements was to create 15 screens for the customer sections. Everything would customer and demand section, everything comprised of 15 screens. I just finished the project, so I had the timeline was 20 days, but I had just 10 days to work on this. So I worked as fast as I can. So the idea was for a mobile web app. So and I wanted users to be able to not scroll too much. Sorry, not scroll too much before they see what they needed to what they needed to interact with. If if by chance we had an app, I wanted them to see the open the app banner or install the app banner. I wanted them to be able to see if they're a customer or they're an handyman, or if they wanted to just view it on guest login, and then if they wanted to use secondary login um, features. So and then for the sign up process, the sign up, I just basically wanted to most importantly ask for your phone number. Their email number could be a secondary requirement. So once they signed up, they they will be onboarded into the main screen where they will to scroll to see the sections we have. That is the handyman sections we have, and then you will see the top handyman on Jiffy currently, which is the top, which I made the top section, and then they could see based on their location their local government, and then the actual address will be shown below. So based on that, they will be able to tell them, show them the handyman near them, and then tell them the then for the following flows, different handymen for sorry, we show them different handymen that are close to them. For example, carpentry, electricians, and then the next would be the Jiffy spotlight. For example, would have the Jiffy would have spotlight on handyman creators that more or less that did excellent work, and then followed by plumbers, and then you could show the top three services, created the top three services being requested by customers, and then the next flow will be that, and then followed by the footer. So the idea for this was just I want them to I wanted them to read more or less two texts and still read it as one. The right service when you need it, and then it will also be find the right service when you need it, and then you could join Jiffy. That was the idea for that. The next screen was the search. So once they tap on search, what do they see? I want them to see the the services, or the categories, services, and then the services themselves. So they could search for either these services or the handyman themselves. So you could search for the name of the handyman. They are looking for an handyman in particular. They could search for the name of the handyman, and they are looking for an handyman. And they are looking for a service rather. They could see the the um the recommended text, whereby plumber fixer, plumber near me. So this would be based on the input users will be making, which will be recorded over time. So once they search for that, once they make that input, they will be able to see all the related providers based on on what they search for. So they could also um, view by top rated. They could view by filtered by, and also I they could also view by they could also view by cheap handyman, fast response, and 4.0, or above. These are quick tags that they could select. um Also they could change. I made it that they could sorry a second. They could change the view, whether they want it whether they want to view in this method, whereby they could see the pictures. They could actually see the pictures enlarged, and then depending on what they want to, and then they could see they could see how far the person is in minutes, and they could see how fast the person replies, or they could just decide to leave it on. They could also see tags. So I got this idea from Airbnb. They could see tags also. And for the next screen, which was the filter by screen, they could um they could filter by sorry they could filter by categories, filter by sort by, and they could filter by price range, by view display, which they could easily access here too, and they could also filter by search type, and the distance, and star rating. Those are the few things they could filter by. To view a service provider's profile, I more or less prototyped it so they could easily switch in the about section. They could see the profile picture of the service provider, the name of service provider, the level of service provider, um, the different categories section of service provider, and then the different badge, the badge of the service provider. They could message the service provider, and they could also switch between service this they could see the different services the service provider offers, and they could see reviews of that service provider. So I really worked as fast as I could, so I could meet the deadline. So for the about section contains the user bio, user verification, or other info, languages and skills, tools, and the footer itself. So those are the sections. And then to book a service provider, I made it easy whereby all you need to do is you could either pay with bank transfer or pay with debit. And also, I had the idea whereby at back end, the service provider had the ability to choose whether they wanted to collect bank transfers or they wanted to actually just collect debit cards. So we have so once you're done, you could actually select a different location depending on whether you don't want it or whether you're not currently at home or you're at your mom's place, you want to book it for your aunt, you want to book it for a friend, and then you could select the schedule, and then you could add pictures based on the issues the person is facing, and then there is a fixed price with a platform fee, which and a total. So once a service user sends the booking request, the um, the user, the service provider gets the request, and the user gets a feedback based on the decision the service provider made, whether they accepted the booking or not. So I just want to make sure this is not too long, whether they accepted the booking or not. And then a, if the service provider accepts the booking, they get this notification whereby they are they're informed that the service provider accepted the booking, and then they can choose to either cancel the booking or make payment. So if they selected the card or their credit or debit card um, method, they are asked to add their card. Their card is then processed, and once their card is processed, there is a flow whereby the service provider, if the service provider is booked for today, the service is in progress, and then service provider comes and then does then provides the service, and then once the service provider clicks on end, the the user is asked to review, rate the service provider, and then um, this is the final screen. So depending on the amount of stars the user gives the service provider, and the user can choose to select all this and then make a remark and then submit. I actually made prototypes. I made a few prototypes because I I wanted to keep the screen to the maximum amount of screen that was mentioned, which was 15. So I just something not too much. So this is the web version for the users. So when the user is not logged in, this is what they see on at first, and then this is when they're in guest mode. So actually you've noticed the pictures on the you notice the profile picture rather on the services themselves, on service provider cards rather. So the idea for this was once they, sorry, wrong one. Once they click on it, once they click on it, the service provider's profile comes out. This is for web, Figma. Um, sorry, yes. So the idea was when once they click on it, the service providers, excuse me, the service providers the service provider's profile this thing shows. So it's a quick access instead of having to dig for that to see the service provider's profile and then see the reviews of the service provider or see the other services the service provider provides. So it's just quick an idea I had. So I decided to go with 3D icons because I was really inspired by Airbnb's designs Airbnb designs rather. And then here user can see the amount of handymen currently. They can filter by on the web also. They can select more, they can select the service they currently want. They can select they can filter by search type, the distance, and then the star ratings. So, and then also, if a user wants to easily switch to an handyman profile or they want to become an handyman, they can always click here. here they could always click to get to talk with the customer service, and here they could click to view their profile. They could click here to view their bookings, and also click here to view their messages and alert. Here they could click to change their location. So yes, so the same idea I had, whereby you could search, users could search for services or search for handymen. I had that same idea here, whereby they could, when once they click on services, they could change it to handyman or change it back to services. So this is the screen, the web screen, when the user searches for a plumber, for example. So they are greeted with all these search results of plumbers, and they are shown the amount, the service fee rather, the distance away, and then the time it takes for them to reply. Now that I think about it, 30 minutes is quite a lot. Okay, so I started with drawers for mostly because I've worked with developers who have handled drawers. I know that some people don't really like drawers, but I've worked with confident developers who really know how to use drawers, and I've seen them put it to work, and it's actually yielded a lot. So these are other screens I for the web. So just to cut the long story short, this is the next is the handyman section. For the handyman section, I took a different approach. The handyman section, I actually studied in drives in drives in drives UI UX, because I feel they've actually mastered the way the logistics, maybe not logistics, but transportation business, online transportation business is being handled. And so my approach was not just to copy them, but at least to view their UX and understand how they operate. So I for for the handyman section is more or less the same flow, but they get to select they get to select a profession at first. They get to select a profession at first, and here there is more or less a cheat code whereby we tell them it's best practice to have your chosen service as part of your business name. We discovered 85.67% of our handymen get bookings via this method. So the next screen is, once they are successfully logged in, they are greeted with this screen. So here they can choose to go online. Once they go online, they are informed that they are online and start getting bookings, or they can see their scheduled bookings. You can see their messages and alerts. They can see their reviews, and if they need help, they need to contact customer care. Above, they get access to their wallets. They get access to their profile here. So once they go online, so this is actually dark UX. Most users that I spoke with, they don't. It's hard to find this offline button. This is an offline button, but I put it as black intentionally, because as a business person, yes, you want to create UX, but as a business person, you want there to be inflow of cash. And the only way there can be inflow of cash is when service providers actually get bookings and fulfill those bookings. So you don't really want them to go offline. Yeah, it's not even a gray area, it's bad. But you don't want them to go offline. So that I thought about it before adding it, and man, I'd love your feedback on it. The next screen is, once they get a booking, they see the booking request, so they can choose to just collapse it and not, or they can choose to, sorry, they can I'm trying to find the function, or they can choose to sorry, I'm trying to show you the interaction. Come on, wait. Yes, you can choose to accept the booking, or they can choose to collapse it. And here they get the ability to see more details about those booking, the issues the person is facing. And then if you remember, I added users have the ability to add pictures of those booking of pictures based on the issue they are facing and on those booking. But users for service providers, they have the ability to collapse the this booking request itself. For and then so the next screen is the ability for them to actually view their bookings. They can see all instant bookings that they currently have. They can see instant bookings they currently have. They can see scheduled bookings that they currently have, and they can see completed bookings that they currently have. So the idea for these few dots, which I also got from InDrive, I'm not going to lie about that, is that they have the ability to either once they click on it, they can accept a booking, decline a booking, or expand to see more information on that booking. So they can hear at a glance, they're able to see the location of the booking request, the amount the person of the booking request, the the how far the person is, the exact location, the exact address, and then how the amount of time they have to accept that booking. So an average booking, I kept an average booking within 15 minutes. So by the time it gets to 5 minutes below, it turns red. So the and it goes down. So it turns red and it goes down. Also, users also have reviews too. So they're able to see the review of the user and whether the user is verified or not. And then the next screen. So the idea for the next screen was users for service providers. Um, the idea I had for this was I wanted service providers to be able to. I didn't want the issue of is this is also from InDrive. So what InDrive does is they don't they try to mitigate the issue they have with money when it comes to money. They don't want to mess with Nigerians' money. So the what InDrive does is drivers top up their wallets on their app, and then InDrive charges 10%. So if a driver tops up 5,000 naira into their app and um, gets a booking a ride request of 3,000, if that ride is successful, InDrive charges 350 naira. So if a driver just if a driver gets a ride of 500,000 or a cumulative ride of 500,000 in a week, InDrive cuts out of that money is 50,000. So you are more or less just it's more or less like a credit. Before you can make a call or before you can go online, in this case, you have to top up your wallet. So every successful ride you get, you are paying 10%. So InDrive is just deducting 10% out of that money. I don't know if I was able to explain it. So the idea for the wallet was just based on that, and then you can see your average active time, you can see the total number of jobs you have, you can see your total earnings, you can see your transaction history, and you can download your transaction statement. I'm sorry, I haven't even mentioned, but the name of the font I used was Freedoka. Sorry, yeah, Freedoka. I created style guides for it for it to make it simple for me. So for the earnings for all the transaction history, your users, Handyman rather, are able to see their earnings, they're able to see their top ups, and they're able to see their rejected. So the top ups are the successful top ups that they've done when they are loading their wallet. The rejected are the cancelled, the failed top ups that never worked, and then the earnings are the more or less um the successful amount that the their customers pay, that are recorded, their customers pay the handyman, and then the service fee deduction is being shown. So that's for that. And then users can service providers rather can see their reviews, they can see their overall rating, and then they can sort the reviews that they've gotten. So and also they can reply reviews, they can report a review, and yeah, they can see their replies to the review. So and then for the messages and alert section, so I combined messages and alert. Alert is more or less notifications. So I put all of them in under one screen, messages and alerts. So I divided into the two. I divided them into two messages and alerts. So for the messages section, they're able to see the users that have messaged them. They're able to archive a chat, and they are informed that their personal messages are end to end encrypted. Yeah. And for the alert section, they're able to see the booking request that they received. They're able to view the booking request. They're able to see information about the amounts they've earned for that day. So it's not be every time they earn an amount that an alert will be sent to them. It will be recorded. It will be recorded on in their transaction history section, but it will just be an accumulative of amounts that they made that day, and then any report they make, and then any review they get, and also any top up bonus that is being added to the for their excellence for their excellence rather, we add it. We inform them too. So this is the customer support screen, um, which was also required. So this is the home section. Just not to waste any more of your time. Thank you for watching this. If you have gotten to this point, thank you a lot for watching this. Not to waste more of your time. This is the web. This is the web section for users who are not logged in yet. So if you're not logged in, you get the same view as a customer would until you log in. And then, so yes, so my approach for the web app of for the for Handyman was actually different. I I stay in a state whereby I see landscapers who actually have cars who sorry, I may have yes, landscapers who actually have cars, who do their business moving around with cars, plumbers who actually have cars, and it actually changed my perception on the handyman business actually. So you mean there are actually people who have their own cars and move around with their own cars to meet clients or customers in need of their services. So I now envisioned, what if the web app was more what could actually if it compressed could fit into the screens of a car. So that is where but for this case, it had to be a a web app. So the first screen they see once they log in as a service provider is their booking screen. But on the left, that's above, they get to see the nav bar. On the left, they get to see the map itself, and they get to go online. If they are not online, they get to see their wallet if they are not with their wallets, and then they get to click here to know where they are, click here to zoom in, and they get to they are informed whether they are offline or online, and if they are once you don't see instant booking, they are informed that they are currently offline and asked to go online. So that was just the idea that, what if someone is in their car driving and then tapping on their like what I call it screen, their car screen, tablet, whatever it could be. I wanted to make it easy for them that the interface, yes, they could use a mouse to click, and you also use their fingers to tap on it depending on the screen they are using. So that was the idea. So once they click on go online, the same dark UX is here too. The same dark UX is here. So once they uh, click on go online, they're able to see their screen is filled with instant request. They're also able to see their scheduled request and see their completed request. Here they don't have to swipe, which is extra work. They could easily click whether they want to decline or expand or accept. And they could see at a glance information as shown on the mobile. So once they get a new booking request, they are shown here. So they could click to accept, or yeah, they could click to accept the booking request or not. And then so the second idea I had is when when the second idea I had is when they click on their wallet, this map screen goes dark. It informs them that they are not in view, so they could actually concentrate on their wallet. They could actually concentrate on their wallet, and they could view their transaction history, download they could download their statements, and then check enter their bank details. So for the transaction history, they could actually view it the same way they view it on mobile, but now it's enlarged. And then for their reviews, they could also view their reviews, view their alerts, and then they could view their messages, and they could also view their alerts, and then check out customer support. So that is everything. The next page will I'll probably show is the components. I created quite a number of components, so I could just the screens could be under 15. I wish I had time and probably understood the UX. I've been seeing a lot of other screens that other designers have created, and I'm like, okay, there are really a lot of like crazy UX designers, not even UI designers, like crazy UX designers. And I'm like, okay, this competition was really uh I have a small vocabulary. I don't know the word to use. I'll just say crazy, just crazy. So that is all for now. Thank you very much if you stayed this far, and yeah, that's everything. Oh yeah, this is the small branding I did. This is the logo, and then the logo on different variations. I'm a brand designer. I started as a product designer, but over time I've tried to understand brand design itself, and these are illustrations that I added. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.